It was a sunny Friday afternoon, and the luxurious car dealership, located on the most sophisticated avenue of the city, bustled with activity. Sun rays streamed through the enormous glass windows, making the vehicles shine even brighter. Elegant customers, dressed in designer clothes and exuding confidence, roamed the spacious area, admiring the gleaming vehicles on display, from luxurious sedans to powerful supercars. The employees, impeccably dressed in well-tailored suits and highly trained in etiquette and automotive knowledge, moved with agility and grace, always ready to cater to the desires and whims of the wealthy clientele frequenting the dealership. Soft music played in the background, creating an inviting and exclusive atmosphere. In this setting of opulence and sophistication, an elderly woman with grey hair and a weary appearance caught the attention of both employees and customers. Dressed in worn and simple clothes, she stood out in the luxurious environment like a wilted flower amidst a lush garden. Her name was Mrs. Irina Davidson. The employees watched her with disdain, murmuring among themselves and exchanging complicit glances, assuming she had probably entered the store by mistake, thinking it was a charity or a place to help the less fortunate. However, to everyone's surprise, Irina walked with determined and serene steps, as if she was in her own territory, towards one of the most expensive convertible cars in the store, a state-of-the-art red sports model, with aerodynamic lines and a powerful roar of the engine. The car caught attention not only for its vibrant color but also for its sophisticated design and the promise of unforgettable adventures on the open roads. The employees, annoyed by Mrs. Davidson's presence, treated her rudely and impatiently. A particularly arrogant salesman named Richard approached her with a look of disgust and said, I think you're in the wrong place. This store is only for customers interested in purchasing luxury cars. You don't seem to be able to afford a vehicle like this," he commented, glancing sideways at his colleagues who laughed at the situation. Irina, slightly embarrassed but still determined, replied, "My dear, I have the money to buy the car. I came here specifically for that." Richard, even more irritated, retorted, "The store is crowded, and we have important clients to attend to. Besides, you smell like cattle. Please, don't disturb our work." With tears in her eyes and a heavy heart, Irina left the store. As she left, she left behind a large, aged leather bag which one of the saleswomen, Isabella, found. Isabella, a young, empathetic and kind woman, didn't agree with the treatment given to the elderly woman and, upon picking up the bag, felt the weight of the money inside. She decided to go after Irina to return her bag and apologize for her colleague's behavior. "Isabella, what are you doing?" asked one of her colleagues, surprised. "I'm returning the bag to that lady. She deserves respect and fair treatment, just like any customer," replied Isabella, determined to do the right thing. With the bag in hand, Isabella left the store, looking for Irina, willing to help her and listen to her story. After asking a few people and searching the area, Isabella found Mrs. Davidson sitting on a bench in a nearby park, sadly looking at the trees as the leaves danced with the wind. The afternoon sun cast soft shadows on the ground and children played around, but Irina's heart was heavy. Isabella approached cautiously, holding the aged leather bag, and called out, "Mrs. Davidson, I'm sorry to bother you, but you left your bag in the store. I wanted to return it and apologize for my colleague's behavior." Irina looked at Isabella, surprised, and replied, "Oh, my dear, thank you so much. I was so shaken that I didn't even realize I had left my bag behind." Isabella sat down next to Irina, and they began to talk. The elderly woman shared her story. Her husband, Mr. George Davidson, had always dreamed of traveling in a convertible car, feeling the wind in his hair and the freedom of the open roads. He had saved money all his life to fulfill this dream, scrimping every penny. Unfortunately, he was diagnosed with cancer and, after spending a lot on treatment, the disease advanced, and the doctor said he had only a few days to live. "Now, dear, I just wanted to fulfill my dear George's dream, to take him on that trip he always wanted," said Irina, with tears in her eyes. "But the car he always dreamed of owning has gone up so much in price, and I don't have enough anymore. I am about 20 short of the car's value. I don't know what to do." Isabella, deeply touched by Irina and George's story, promised that she would do everything possible to help fulfill the couple's dream. She knew that, even while working at that luxurious store, money couldn't buy the love and dedication that united Mr. and Mrs. Davidson. And it was this love that she was determined to honor. Isabella, moved by the story, promised to help Irina and took her phone number to keep in touch. A week later, she went to the elderly woman's house, a small old house with a well-kept garden, filled with colorful flowers and a worn wooden swing. The scent of jasmine hung in the air, creating a cozy and nostalgic atmosphere. Upon entering the residence, Isabella was greeted with a warm smile from Mrs. Davidson, who led her to the living room where Mr. George Davidson was. There, she met Irina's husband, a thin man weakened by the disease but with a glimmer of love in his eyes as he looked at his wife. The connection between the two was palpable, and the atmosphere emanated the affection and complicity of a lifetime together. Touched by this scene, Isabella decided to use her savings, which she had been accumulating to buy an apartment, to help Irina buy the car. She knew that this decision would change her life, but she was also aware of the impact it would have on the couple life. Mrs. Davidson, I will use my savings to help you buy the car. I know it will fulfill Mr. Davidson's dream, and it's something worth doing, said Isabella, with conviction in her voice. Irina, moved, thanked Isabella with a tight hug and promised that she would never forget her generosity. Days later, Isabella talked to the store manager and managed to get a good discount for the cash purchase of the convertible, explaining the situation and stressing the importance of that sale. The manager, realizing how special that moment was, agreed to help and thanked Isabella for showing that sometimes it is necessary to look beyond appearances and see the heart of people. Irina Davidson returned to the store a week later, this time wearing an elegant navy blue suit that accentuated her silhouette and a delicate pearl necklace that gave her an aura of sophistication. Her grey hair was meticulously combed, and a determined smile shone on her face. The salespeople, at first, did not recognize her, so different was the elderly woman in her new attire. However, when they realized who she was, some of them tried to remove her again, murmuring among themselves about Irina's audacity to return. But before they could act, Isabella intervened and led Irina to George's dream car, a shiny red convertible that caught everyone's attention. Together, they negotiated the purchase with confidence and determination, and Mrs. Davidson paid in cash, leaving everyone dumbfounded by the amount of money she took from her purse. The manager, knowing the story, nodded in approval and respect. The couple, Irina and George, took an unforgettable trip along the coast, enjoying the wind in their faces and the sun shining on the shimmering sea. At each stop, Irina helped George out of the car with care and love, and they walked hand in hand, cherishing every moment together, as if time had stopped just for them. Laughter and tears marked that journey, and the memories they created would remain forever in their hearts. A few days after the day, they were a few after returning from this thrilling adventure, Mr. George Davidson passed away at home, with Irina by his side, grateful for having lived his last wish with the woman he loved. As time went on, Isabella and Mrs. Davidson became great friends, frequently meeting to share stories, laughter, and tears. The two women developed a deep bond, enriched by the experiences they had together and the life lessons they both had to offer one another. One afternoon, as they were having tea in the living room of Irina's house, the elderly woman decided to express her gratitude for Isabella's loving and compassionate gesture. Dear Isabella, you did something incredible for me and George. I will never forget what you did for us. That's why I want you to have the red convertible, the one that now carries such precious memories, said Irina, with a serene smile and teary eyes. Isabella hesitated, moved by the offer but also aware of the significance of that car for Irina and her late husband. Mrs. Davidson, I don't know if I can accept. Are you sure? This car represents Mr. George Davidson's last wish and the love between you two, replied Isabella, her voice choked with emotion. Irina nodded, holding Isabella's hand. Yes, my dear. I'm sure. You came into our lives when we needed it most and showed us the true value of kindness and love. The car will be a constant reminder of that, and a symbol of the friendship we built. I want you to have it. Isabella accepted the gift with humility and affection, hugging Irina gratefully, knowing that the car represented Mr. George Davidson's last wish and the love between him and Irina. Isabella promised to honor the couple's memory and care for the red convertible as a precious relic and a reminder of the transformative power of compassion and friendship. The friendship between the two women and Isabella's act of kindness proved that love and compassion can transcend differences and bring happiness even in the most difficult situations. And whenever Isabella drove the red convertible, she remembered Irina and George, grateful for having had the opportunity to be part of their story and for having learned the true value of generosity and love. And so ends our touching and inspiring story about the power of love, compassion, and friendship. We hope you have enjoyed this journey with us and that it brings you inspiration and motivation to act with generosity and kindness in life. If you like this video, please leave a like and share it with your friends and family to spread this message of love and empathy. You